Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy LOZA. Today we're looking at the Dark Magician Red Eyes Dark Dragoon Turbo build. This is the safest one, the one that I think most beginners to Dragoon as a deck theme for Dark Magician should start with. And the reason being is this list will focus heavily on Rod and Souls linking into your Anaconda, sending Ref and summoning out your Dragoon. It is very simple, but you're going to see just how easy it is to draw a bunch of cards, and hopefully you're going to draw into multiple hand traps like Effect Veiler, Imperm, Ash, and Max C. Now to combo with your Dark Magician cards, we've got the Crossout and the Double Called By, which will help you negate your opponent's Ashes, Imperms, and Veilers, so they don't stop you from summoning your Dragoon. But you've also got things like Village, which if comboed with your Dragoon means 90% of the outs to Dragoon won't be able to affect you, which is very nice. We've also got the Magicalized Fusion for follow-up, summoning a second Dragoon, and worst case you can just summon something like Master of Chaos or the Dark Magicians. You will learn after playing this build though that a lot of the other Dark Magician fusions just don't matter. Like Dragoon is really all that matters here and will win you 90% of your games. Anyway, let's get into your bread and butter combo that you must know when you're playing this deck. All you got to do for this combo is open up Rod and Souls, so Illusion of Chaos can help you get to these bad boys as well. You typically want to start with Souls here, and you're going to be sending not Dark Magician, but the second brick you're playing. And the reason for that is, well, we're going to be generating a lot of drawing here, so Rod's going to get us the Soul Servant, but we're not going to search anything with it. We're going to just send it for a draw with Magician Souls. Now, of course, if you have Circle in your hand here or Eternal Soul, you can instead actually use the Soul Servant and get the missing piece of the Dark Magician triangle, which is having your Circle, your Eternal Soul, and your Dark Magician on hand or grave. That is a good way to do the strategy, but we're going to take it as if we have like 3 hand traps in our hand or just random cards. So we're just going to send that for a draw during a hand trap. Nice. That is the goal with this Magician Souls and Soul Servant kind of combination here. We're just trying to draw into as many different named hand traps as possible or disruptions from the opponent's turn. So, we're going to make Anaconda with our beautiful cards there, where we're not going to use our Max C because we're going to save that for later. Anaconda is going to resolve here, hopefully. If Anaconda does resolve, we are absolutely eating, because not only do we get Dragoon, because we put now Dark Magician in the grave, we've now got 2 bricks in the grave for the magic of our Soul Servant. So we are going to draw an additional 2 cards here. In this replay, we will just draw another 2 copies of Max C, because that's how the deck is stacked, but hopefully you're drawing, you know, other hand traps. But you can see that this combo lets you end on Dragoon and 3 cards in your hand, and you started with 2 cards in your hand. So that's your bread and butter combo. You can do it a number of other ways using other normal summons and other special summons, but this is the Dark Magician way to do it, which gets you the most card advantage, right? 3 cards in the hand, 2 cards in the field. Pretty good. Coming back to the deck list, this is what I will be starting with in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, but as you've probably seen in some of my other videos, I am a pretty big enthusiast of additional Red Eyes cards. So, Red Eyes Insight is kind of insane, being able to send the Red Eyes Meteor Dragon, so don't be surprised if you see my later lists bumping Ref to 3 and Insight to 3 with Meteor Dragon as well. Now, the reason Ref is at 2 because I am such a Ref shill and I normally have it at 3 in every list. A lot of people don't like that, so look, this is more a list for you starting out back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel with Dragoon. You're probably like, hey, I heard a lot of hype on this card, let's give it a try. This is a great list to just start, because it's a bunch of very simple hand traps, a bunch of Dark Magician orientated normal summons and special summons, and then just stuff to stop hand traps, more Dark Magician spell trap engine, and your Red Eyes Fusion stuff, right? It's very, very simple. The extra deck can be a bit convoluted, but once you play the deck a bit, it will make sense. You've got the Dark Selene access code. Oh, sorry, that's Blackluster Soldier. The Link Climbing package, where if you're going second and you've already used your Anaconda, so you can't really go for Dragoon, or maybe you're at 2,000 or less life points, you can go into Dark, try to summon back one of your opponent's Darks, go into Selene, summon back one of your spellcasters, go into access code, pop a bunch of guys, smack the board. Pretty good. You've also got BLS, which you can just make with 3 monsters with different names. If you happen to use Dark Magician to do that, or another level 7 or higher, it gets massive immunity, which is huge, right? You love that on a Link 3. Very strong boss monster. We've also just got simple stuff like linking into IP to go into SP on the opponent's turn. That's just a thing you can do if you've already used your Anaconda or something, right? But yeah, the main play of the deck is getting this guy out, but if you do happen to get to your secrets plays, you can summon out Master of Chaos, you can summon out Dark Magician Dragonite, summon out the Dark Magicians. Now, we're not playing the Timaeus Dragon, so if you wanted to cut secrets for that, you could do that. Or you want to cut prep for Timaeus, Timaeus is another way to help you, you know, get into all these fusions, and it's actually a 2-card combo to do it. So let's go over that real quick. Now for this example, because we're putting Timaeus in, you can either take out Apprentice, or you can take out a Soul Servant, or you can take out Prep. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. In this case, I'm just going to take the Prep out. Now once again, you're just going to have to open Rotten Souls, and you've got your more traditional Dark Magician on theme way to make Dragoon. So people who don't want to play Red Eyes Fusion at all, that's fine. This is a route for you. You're going to go normal summon Rod and get Soul Servant. You probably should do Magician Souls first to play around Bystials, but in the, you know, in the sense of I'm just showing you the replay, it doesn't matter too much. If I was playing this list though, where I'm definitely going to summon the Dark Magician off Souls, I would probably not play the second brick, right? The Anaconda helps with the second brick, so I probably wouldn't play DMG in this list. That probably should have been the card we cut, but you know, that's alright. We're going to go ahead and stack Timaeus off Soul Servant, because this time we didn't summon Souls, we sent it to the grave to summon Dark Magician. The Soul Servant will stack you the Timaeus Dragon. Timaeus Dragon will then come to your hand when you banish Soul Servant. And now you're just going to get rid of that Rod. You do want Rod in the grave a lot of the time for its grave effect anyway. And boom, bam, you've got Timaeus on the field. Bam, Timaeus can now make Dragon Knight. So if you've got Circle Eternal Soul, go for Dragon Knight. If you don't have Circle Eternal Soul, which is a lot of the time, you'll just find going for Dragoon is just better. Now, the Dragoon made with Timaeus Dark Magician here only has 1 pop because it's not summoned with Red Eyes. So notice Dragoon has on its text, you can use this effect up to the number of times per the number of normal monsters used for the fusion material of this card. So because we only use 1 normal monster being DM, it's only got 1 pop and burn. Whereas, yeah, if you use Ref, you get to send Red Eyes and you get 2 pops. But you got to play Red Eyes then. So another kind of niche thing about this build is you don't have to play Red Eyes. So as I mentioned, in a build with Timaeus, you don't have to play the Red Eyes or the Ref stuff, but I would recommend it because you'll notice I had DM and I had Timaeus on the field, and if you get hand trapped there, on like Effect Veiler or Imperm, here's what you can do. Alright, we're going to do the combo the exact same as last time, but there's going to be one little catch. So we'll start with Souls just to make it more genuine. I think this is how you should start the combo, to play around Bestials. For those who don't know, a Bestial will simply banish the Dark Magician in your grave before you summon it if you control a monster. We don't control one right now because we're still resolving Magician Soul, so they can't Bestial us. You can still get hit by DD Crow though, so, you know, but you can't play around everything. End of the day though, you try to play around as much as you can. We're going to Rod and grab Soul Servant just like last game, and just like the last little interaction combo vid, you are getting Timaeus once again. Now, in this scenario though, we're going to pretend that we get hit with Imperm or Veiler on the Timaeus. Not the Rod though, which normally they're just going to hit Rod because they don't know what you're doing. Let's say your opponent's a little bit smarter, you know, you're hitting the diamond ranks, people are starting to play a bit better. You're going to summon Timaeus, and now you've got DM Timaeus on the field. You're going to activate this effect, your opponent hits you with the Imperm Veiler. Sad. You can't make Dragoon now. Big sad. Well, not quite. This is a reason why I say even if you play Timaeus and Secrets, you should still play Anaconda and Red Eyes Fusion. Now you just go into Imduck or Link Spider, another option to link Dark Magician away. Suddenly you've got 2 effect monsters on the field, and while your opponent's already busted one of their Imperms or Veilers, potentially you can sneak by now with Anaconda sending the, well, Red Eyes Fusion. Now you'll notice I also had Magicalized Fusion in there, so we'll get onto that as well. That's a nifty tech for the mid to late game. You can summon a second Dragoon using Magicalized, banishing the material, or you can even do a double Dragoon play, which is insane. So anyway, this was, you know, if you get hand trapped on Timaeus, another way you can make Dragoon. Once again, keeping the Anaconda Red Eyes Fusion stuff. If you don't like it, fair enough though, cut it. I'll quickly talk about some things like Artemis, which is mainly here to recycle Rod and put Rod in the grave, so then you can basically just generate card advantage next turn. It's really here for when you brick, to be honest, and you don't have a special summon with your Rod. It's not the worst, it's not the best, it doesn't really do anything on its own though. This card's really good with the Dogmatica package, which we're not playing in this build, but I'll definitely have one later with Nadir as an engine to summon Winder alongside your Dragoon. It's quite oppressive. Imduck, I've kind of shown what you do with Imduck so far. You link it away for Dark Magician sometimes just to recycle Dark Magician if you've got Circle Eternal Soul up. But it's also here because sometimes you just need effect monsters to do link plays. I don't really have to explain IP and SP, they're pretty staple. You put them in your deck and then you IP into SP on your opponent's turn to banish a card and all that fun stuff. Anaconda speaks for itself as well, you know, you're using it to make Dragoon. Chaos Angel's an interesting one, where if you actually Magician Souls out Dark Magician and normal summon Rod, you can go into Chaos Angel and get another banish. And why I say another is because Rod will normally get Circle. You activate Circle, and then Souls will summon DM, you'll get a banish, and you can go into Chaos Angel, banish again. It's quite nifty, I like it. Now let's look at Magicalized and the double Dragoon play. I do showcase this a lot, but just in case you're watching this and you've never seen it before, let's go over that real quick. You do need to open these 3 cards, but yeah, let's get into it. So at any point in the duel, as long as you've got Dark Magician and a Dragon in the grave, you can slam down Magicalized and summon your second copy of Dragoon, or even if it's your first copy of Dragoon. Never doubt how strong that can be. And I'm just going to mention, your beautiful guy over here, Anaconda, can send Magicalized from deck to grave. So let's say turn 1 you hard activated Ref. At a later turn in the game, you can go and Anaconda into Magicalize, which is kind of sensational, right? So I love having that as a backup play, but let's get through this combo because this is pretty interesting. In this version of the combo, we will be summoning Dark Magician, which, you know, is a bit different to normal. So I'll show you what we're going to do with Rod, because you don't have to go get Soul Servant in this one. We're going to go get Salvation instead. Now, once again, it doesn't typically matter what you want. You probably even want to just get Soul Servant to hold in the hand for a Dragoon negate. So you know what? We're actually just going to do that. If you don't have a way to Eternal Soul and Circle, I say you just hold the Soul Servant as your best discard for Dragoon. So, we're going to link into I'm Dark. Now, this is our 3rd summon, keeping track in case your phone has Nibiru, right? Okay, cool. Now, if anything, you hope your opponent hand trapped you on the Rod, so you can keep going here. Now, this is going to be our 4th summon, so we're 1 summon away from the Biru level, right? But before we use Anaconda effect, well, we can just go Magicalized Fusion. So, this is pretty nifty. We're going to banish our Dark Magician and our I'm Dark. And our 5th summon is Dragoon. And you'll notice we've searched a card as well off Rod. So, even if you should in theory have 2 other cards in your hand, but we've also got this card. So, there's a free discard here that can banish and get a draw if Anaconda resolves here. So, yeah, before we go any further, we can do this. So if our opponent tries to Imperm Veiler, hey, we've got a Dragoon negate to get our other Dragoon out. The biggest problem with this combo is you lose super hard with Super Poly and still Dark Ruler, because you can't negate those. But you will only have, in theory, 3 cards in your hand. So it's a little bit rough. Luckily, we've searched this Soul Servant. That's one of the cards, but you should have 2 more cards in your hand, because we started with 3 in our opener. But, man, Double Dragoon is a very oppressive board. Top this off with Villager, or a nice Imperm, or Summon Limit, or something, and man, you're good to win the game, right? So yeah, be careful when you go all in like this, though. There's definitely some cards that just mess you up. I do always feel like the risk is worth the reward, though, with that board. Is extremely fun, not gonna lie. Alright, guys, this has been the best Dark Magician Red Eyes Dark Dragoon deck to start you off in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duels Ranked. Let me know what you think of the list down in the comments. Don't forget to give me your opinion, because you know what? This list is probably not perfect. I think it's pretty great for a starter, especially if you're new to either Master Duel or new to playing Dark Magician with Dragoon in it, since, you know, it's been a long time. I played it so much. Just so you guys know, I have played Dragoon Dark Magician or Turbo Dragoon Dark Magician for literal years, since Dragoon came to TCG. So I have a lot of matchup knowledge, and I'll be posting a video soon on cards that beat Dragoon and matchups you beat automatically, and how you can win those matchups automatically, and you know what you need to be looking out for, the choke points where you want to use your negate and that kind of thing. So if you're keen on that kind of information, let me know down in the comments, right? I want to hear it, because then I'll make it quicker. But yeah, this has been your boy. Shout outs to everyone who wanted the list from me. This is my starting list. Yes, you know, if you know my channel, you know this list is going to change in future. My list that will be my master list will probably be different to this, because I will be pushing this deck to master, and I'm probably going to change a lot of things. But as I mentioned earlier, if you're playing the Timaeus and the Secrets, I'm probably going to cut them. But I know a lot of people like to summon Dragoon the Dark Magician intended way. I'm not going to use Eye of Timaeus either. I don't want to hear about that card. That card's unsearchable, and while Timaeus and Secrets are way worse than Eye of Timaeus, they're at least searchable. So yeah, there's that. Eye of Timaeus, if you open it, is a better card than Timaeus and Secrets, but that's the problem. You have to hard open it. At that point, just play Red Eyes Fusion. You'll have a better time. But anyway, that's been me, your boy LOZA. I'm the Dark Magician guy. You gotta like, comment, subscribe. We're trying to hit 10k subs. If anything's gonna do it, it's Dragoon's release on Master Duel. So please, share this content and do all the things you gotta do for me. And I will be doing all the things that I can do for you I'll be streaming as soon as Dragoon drops as well, so make sure you got that bell hit so you catch me then. Because I will be venting my frustrations, as well as I feel like I'm going to be clapping some cheeks on that ladder too, because yeah, imperm, I'm just going to say this, going second, imperm ref goes hard. So hold those imperms. If you're going second and you open imperm ref, maybe just let your opponent pop off. Because sometimes all you got to do is imperm their negate, their boss monster, and use a ref and you just win. You go pop, pop, swing for game. That will be, in summary, a lot of the ways you win going second. But anyway, have fun with this deck. Let me know what you think. Let me know your changes. I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Peace.